Hi, Ghosties. I'm Macy.
And I'm Natalie.
And we often hear stories of people seeing or hearing something unusual and supernatural, but we don't often experience this with them. What we are always looking for is proof. Proof that there is something here with us. So today, thanks to our patrons over on Patreon, we are bringing you a few stories with evidence of the paranormal.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. This is our, if this is good, if these are good evidence, photos and pictures and videos and whatnot, this is about to shoot to like one of my top favorites.
Really?
I love, because that one video,
The door.
shaking the door of the pantry,
Yeah.
got me good.
That was good.
When I was
It's
editing
creepy.
it, I tried not to watch it. I'd watch it in 2x and be like, because I was scared.
It was so spooky.
It was good.
Yeah, for
I
real.
love evidence.
Well, the last story in EVP in particular is really chilling. Really chilling. So grab your cup of tea and probably turn a light on while we look through this proof of the paranormal. Our tea today is Harney & Sons Nutcracker Blend.
Yes.
Very festive tea.
And we did our loose leaves for like 40 minutes, so it's cold. So let's go.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
No, it's not bad. The smell,
It's a little chocolatey.
the smell, I was like, I'm not gonna like it, but it reminds me kind of like the chapstick that tastes like chocolate from years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
I don't
I'm talking
remember
about?
what brand, but yes.
Maybe like Lip Smackers or something like that from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Chocolate flavored lip balm.
Like 20 years ago.
I was gonna say like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Wow. We're getting up there, brother.
Our first story today comes from Jenna. Hi, Macy and Natalie. My name's Jenna. I've been a listener for a few months and I really enjoy the podcast. You guys are great storytellers and pick such interesting topics. I hope this isn't too long, but I think I have some stories you guys will like. To get into my experience, I grew up in a really old house in Central California, aka the middle of nowhere, that was built in the early 1940s. We had no neighbors as the original owners were grape farmers and the house was built in the middle of a small grape vineyard a little ways out of town. The owner sold my parents the house when I was 5, 2003, and the owner's mom died in the house allegedly. And it's a small town, so my parents knew him pretty well and got a really decent price for the house. The owner wanted to continue to grow his grapes, so the vineyards stayed the entire time I grew up there. Small, weird things happened throughout the entirety of my life there. Noises throughout the house, like someone was walking around in the kitchen. Sometimes we could have sworn someone opened our side door, and when we went to go look, nothing was there. Sometimes it just felt like someone was watching you. Normally, we chalk it up to being an old house, and my family has and continues to have amazing, happy memories there. But there are some things that we just can't explain. Once my sister and I had a sleepover, and all of our friends were in the kitchen having breakfast with my mom. There was an empty orange juice bottle on the counter, and out of nowhere, it violently shook like someone was shaking it, and then literally flew across the kitchen and crashed into the wall. Everyone was at the table having breakfast, nowhere near the empty orange juice bottle. My mom, sister, and all my friends were there and attest to this. So weird.
That is creepy, but I also love the idea of growing up on a vineyard.
A vineyard.
That is so cute.
It's very Parent Trap.
Yeah, it just feels cute and magical.
Agreed. Years later, my dad told me his story. It was literally the first night we moved into the house, and he was going through all the rooms turning the lights off to go to bed. We have this super long, skinny hallway that is actually terrifying at night. We all joke about it. And as he turned off the light and started walking to his and my mom's room, he felt a cold breath blow into his ear, like a really strong breath of air right beside him. He was so scared, he sprinted to their room and got under the covers and didn't open his eyes until morning. His words exactly. I have more stories, but what I really wanted to show you guys is the video evidence of something my dad caught on our security cameras. Before you watch though, let me explain exactly what you're looking at. So, this is our backyard security camera, overlooking our patio and the window into the billiards room and entryway. We don't have any blinds or curtains on those windows, so you can see into that part of the house perfectly from the camera. This footage was recorded at 3-something in the morning, and my dad caught it reviewing the tapes the next day. He was a cop with a teenager in the house at the time. My sister and I were in college when this happened. My brother was at home. And sometimes he quickly skimmed the footage each night to make sure everything was fine. Well, as you'll see, that night, around 3 a.m., my dad saw that our back porch lights suddenly go out on their own. They're supposed to, and usually did, stay on all night long. Just 2 seconds later, you can see what looks like a white, glowing apparition of a woman in a nightgown floating through the entryway towards the kitchen. Again, we have no neighbors and live out in the country, so there were no car lights or anyone out there that we were aware of to make this light or reflection. I would slow down the video after the lights go out and watch the apparition in slow motion to better see the shape of her, it, I don't know.
Oh God, okay.
My dad sent this clip to us immediately after he saw it. It still scares the crap out of us, but I really just think it's the previous owner's mom. It never felt malicious or anything like that. It really just felt like someone else was living there with us. Maybe she just didn't want to leave her home. Sorry that was so long, and I hope it made sense. Tell me what you guys think. I'm a big fan.
Okay, well,
what gets me is this video happened around the kitchen, which is where a lot of their,
the orange juice thing
happened.
Yeah, maybe she either spent a lot of time in the kitchen or maybe she died in there.
Oh no,
you never know. Oh
okay,
gosh.
So
okay.
Here is into the billiard room. You can see the pool table right in
on the right side.
Here,
yeah,
on the right side through that window. I believe what they're talking about is kind of in the dead center of the video, like through that window.
Okay,
you'll see. And again, remember, no lights, no cars, nothing. They're in the middle of a vineyard.
Okay.
No one's out there. 3 a.m. Pitch black at night. Okay. All right. You can see like a spider web or something over there. Lights out. Did you see that?
Oh, like in the house.
In the house.
Okay.
Oh
my God. What?
And if you pause it, if I can get to it, it almost looks like the shape of a dress at the bottom.
I see it.
Do you see that?
Oh.
It took me a while to realize what they were talking about. But once I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. Because it almost looks like a car light. When you drive a car light and it reflects through the glass and stuff.
But it's only in that one
But it's only in that very small little sliver.
In the house.
Yeah.
And she turned off, and the lights turned off.
And the lights turned off right before, and they don't do that.
Yeah. That is so scary. Yeah. This is starting off good for me. Oh my
It got very bright, and then suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a slow fade like if it were a car light.
And there's no other lights around or anything.
Nope.
That is a ghost. Wow. Amazing.
Very creepy, isn't it?
Love. Yep. It's only amazing because it didn't happen to me. If it happened to me, I'd be really scared.
You would leave the house immediately?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very spooky. I don't know what it is, and I hope that it is the previous owner's mom.
If they said it never felt malicious and stuff, so I would believe.
Just still bopping around.
She's just there.
I like that.
As long as she's not doing anything scary, fine.
I also am a little freaked out that the lights are out, and
yeah, I don't like that part.
Maybe she was like the kind of mom that always is like
turning the lights off.
Turn these lights off.
The electric bill.
Yeah. I also kind of like that lore, like that we just made up. Like,
yeah,
I love that.
We come up with her own story.
Okay. Our next story comes from Rachel. Hey guys, just want to start by saying I'm so happy I found your podcast. Something you said in a video a few weeks ago about how much it means to you for listeners to share their experiences through sometimes very emotional periods of their lives inspired me to share with you today. You guys are awesome. On to the good stuff. My story starts in 2017. My older sister and I had just rented a townhome together. It was 2 stories. I took the upstairs and she took the down. There was an almost immediate darkness when we moved in, is the best way I can describe it, particularly upstairs. It was as if, as soon as you reached the top of the stairs, a feeling of absolute dread and fear would wash over you. I ignored it the best I could, trying not to dampen the excitement of moving into our new place. It wasn't long before it was near impossible to ignore. It started with knocks and bangs, at first easily chalked up to neighbors surrounding us. My sister has a son who was 7 at the time, so it wasn't uncommon for him to stomp up the stairs to my room. However, the stomping up the stairs began to happen when he was at school and I was home alone. I'd go and check who it was to find an empty stairwell. One night we finished a puzzle, sliding it onto a thick poster board and setting it on the table to keep it safe until we were ready to glue it together and frame it. She asked me to come down one day in a worried tone, and I headed downstairs to see the puzzle flipped over face down on the poster board instead. How the puzzle managed to flip itself over and keep fully intact the entire time, we can't explain.
That is really strange, and I've never heard something like that happening.
I've been doing a lot of puzzles lately with my kids.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
And it's very hard to flip a puzzle over.
Yeah.
Especially a big one.
Okay.
My nephew's toys would often light up or play sounds unprompted, and kitchen cabinets would be found open. Again, these were things we were trying to rationalize by faulty batteries or being forgetful. Things became harder to rationalize, like my nephew telling us of the woman who watches him sleep. He said she will hum songs and play with his hair at night.
Oh.
He said sometimes she will just walk up and down the hallway. This made us come to terms that we were living with a spirit. It was an incredibly hard time. I felt like I was going insane. I worried I couldn't trust my own senses and feared my own head was playing tricks on me. It was some comfort to have my sister who was also experiencing this alongside me. We ruled out some things that could cause us to believe we were experiencing, such things like a gas leak and our own mental health. This period of small experiences and feelings lasted about 2 years. It almost became normal and easier to ignore. It wasn't even necessarily scary anymore, more so just annoying to have to close drawers and fix tilted pictures. It just became something we lived with. The last few months we lived there were by far some of the most traumatic times I've experienced. The feelings of dread upon entering my bedroom were sometimes paralyzing. It felt as if I had been interrupting someone. Like the room wasn't mine at all, it was the spirits, and they made it very clear that I was not welcome. I felt like a zoo animal. Lying in bed or hanging out was anything but relaxing when it felt like you've got a pair of eyes locked on you at all times. I was woken out of my sleep most nights by huffs of angry breath in my ear or my bathroom light turning on. I started experiencing sleep paralysis, feeling unable to move in my own body as it felt like a person sat on my bed. I would hear angry breathing, almost a growling right next to my face. I once felt like my body was buzzing uncomfortably with electricity before a loud clap laugh startled me fully awake. I'm just thankful in all of those times of sleep paralysis I was never able to open my eyes. I had a few guitars in my room, but never really played them much. My sister texted me one night about how my guitar playing was so good and she was impressed. I replied back to let her know I was at a friend's house that night.
Oh my God.
My sister would get bumped into often by something unseen, as if something was trying to push her aside. She started sleeping with her son in her room. We both felt drained, unreasonably angry, and sad all the time. My mind wanted to rationalize these feelings so badly and to believe we were just depressed or perhaps something had gone unchecked in our mental health. I just knew deep down it was this ghost. It was draining us of all energy and happiness.
This feels demonic.
Yeah, seriously.
Because whenever we hear things of like demons being in people's homes, they get like angry with each other or they're mad all the time for no reason.
It's like sucking all of the happy out of the air and leaving nothing but dread and sorrow. And
suddenly I don't want to see whatever proof this is.
It's very creepy.
Is it bad?
It's very creepy.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, we decided not to renew the lease. We both had our own places lined up and had a few weeks left. I felt like the spirit was more angry than normal that we were leaving. It was clear from the beginning whatever this was did not like my sister and I at all, and loved my nephew. I genuinely thought the activity would lighten up once it knew we were leaving, but I was wrong. Here's where my photo evidence comes into play. My friend was helping me pack up my room. She had known about all this going on, and we had felt uneasy just being upstairs. We made silly YouTube vlogs for fun often, so to lighten the mood, she started recording. This picture is a still from her video. She caught it during editing and called me right away. In the reflection of my mirror, it looks to me like a woman made up of white mist with a ponytail. From her position in the mirror, she would be staring right at where my friend and I stood. I showed my sister, and we were horrified. A weird mix of relief somewhere in there to have proof we weren't just crazy this whole time. Do you want to see it, or do you want me to finish reading first?
Finish and then show me.
Okay. I didn't sleep at all the last night there. The room was somehow more eerie while completely empty, and the seething anger from the thing was palpable. It was screaming without words for me to get out. Like it was harnessing all of its energy to push me out quicker. I even said aloud at one point of the night, "I'm leaving tomorrow, please stop." In the end, I moved out just fine to my apartment and was thrilled to no longer feel that presence. I was so worried it would follow me. However, our other sister took the mirror home with her while she was helping us move out. We showed her the picture and seriously tried to talk her out of taking it, but she didn't care at all and just wanted it. Long story short, she threw it in the dumpster after pictures on her walls were knocked down and doors were opening on their own. Thanks so much for taking the time to read my story, and I can't wait for the next episode and tea drop.
Okay, so was this thing attached to the mirror, we think, not the house?
I don't know, or it attached itself to the mirror afterwards.
Oh God, okay, I see you pulling it up. I'm nervous. Okay, just show me. Oh no.
Isn't that sickening? It does look like a woman with a ponytail. just standing there watching
them.
Staring them down.
I don't like it.
And you know what? I have chills all over my body. What's really creepy about this is they always felt like they were watched.
Yeah.
So this, whatever this is, was always just standing there in the background, watching, waiting for them to leave.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And you can kind of see that part of the wall a little bit, like down in the parts of the video.
Uh-huh.
There's obviously nothing there.
There's nothing there. Oh, wow.
Very, very creepy. Like, look at that.
That is sick. I don't want to look again.
Look at that.
That is sick.
That's so sick. Okay. Our next story comes from Natalie, but not this Natalie.
Oh.
Hi, Macy and Natalie. I'm Natalie, 36, she, her, and I really hope you read this email on the pod. I randomly found your podcast, and every time I'm listening, I keep telling myself I need to send them my stories. They will be shocked. My husband and I recently went on a road trip, and I binged all of your episodes for 15 hours, so I decided it was time to sit down and write to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to your husband for sticking with you on that too. I know this will be long. You have the liberty to omit anything you'd like. I did not. Attached is a 90-second video of a full body apparition, the original photo from the cemetery, and the side-by-side comparison picture. I've had so many experiences, full-bodied apparitions caught on video and still image, orbs, fairies, voices. I've experienced so much. So let's go.
Oh no.
I'm originally from an island off the coast of Maine. There are a few things about the island that I think impact its supernatural powers. 1. Native inhabitants can be traced back to the early 1500s. It's very common to find arrowheads and pieces of pottery embedded in clay streams on one end of the island. I think this long history can add to the island's energy. 2nd, the island is geologically composed of solid pink granite with high concentrations of quartz. You both know how quartz and other elements can impact supernatural connections.
That is so cute. Diva Island. I'm obsessed. I actually want to know where this is.
Of pink granite?
Yes.
3rd, the community on the island is deeply ingrained. What I mean by that is people tend to live their entire lives there. Generations of families have been born, lived, and died on the island. In fact, I am 7th generation islander on my father's side. Also, there are many cemeteries with graves from the 1600s to present. This long history only adds to the validity of my experiences. Now that you understand the background of my hometown, let's get to the good stuff. In the early 2000s, my parents were building our family home. The land on which it was built was passed down to my father from his Uncle Harry. My father and Uncle Harry were very close, but unfortunately, Uncle Harry was killed tragically in a snowmobile accident on the island. He was riding full speed and mistook the distance to the end of the field that ended at a cliff on the shoreline. Sometimes tidal areas can cause optical illusions, and coves and coastlines can blend into each other. That's tragic. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's really awful. I'm sorry.
Uncle Harry was found at the bottom of a rocky 20-foot cove. Being that he was 20 feet down, my dad and a couple of his friends had to climb down the rocky embankment to recover his body. I think this experience made Uncle Harry's spirit attach itself to the family land. But I digress. My parents finished building the house and we moved in. I always felt like there was someone around watching us, but it wasn't a bad feeling, and my dad always joked that it was just Uncle Harry. He would often yell out, "Come on, Unc, show us that you're here." He didn't take it very seriously, but I've always believed in spirits and have been able to feel energy. One time, my parents and I were away for the weekend and I returned home before them. When I got inside, all of the dining room chairs were upstairs on the landing to the 2nd floor. Thought it was odd, but returned the chairs downstairs and didn't think much about it. Another time, my dad was home alone and taking a shower. He was almost finished when he said he heard a loud bang very close to him, almost in the shower. He looked around and found a quarter inside on the shower floor near the glass door. Obviously, he didn't bring a quarter in the shower with him, and he didn't have any clothes on. It wasn't until many years later, when we were talking about Uncle Harry, that my dad mentioned his birthday was December 25th. A quarter is worth 25 cents. I think it was my Uncle Harry saying hello. Uncle Harry was a charismatic man, always playing pranks on people and raising hell. This feels very fitting for his personality.
Okay, that's actually kind of cute.
That's kind of cute.
It would scare me, yes.
No doubt.
But, okay, Uncle, that's kind of cute.
Back to the stairs. You walk up 11 steps, make a 180-degree left turn, and go up 9 more steps. In my bedroom, I'd often hear someone walking up and down the stairs, stopping at the top briefly, expecting them to go straight to my parents' room, right to mine, or left to the office, with 3rd floor access to the catwalk, TV room, and laundry room. The footsteps never went in any direction, and I'd eventually forget about them and continue on whatever I had been doing. I'd mention it to my parents, and we'd joke that it was just Uncle Harry. Flash forward to present, my parents have gotten a divorce and moved out, leaving the house unoccupied. My dad set up a security camera, and the house was quiet. Last week, my dad messaged me and asked me to look at the activated times on the camera. I was shocked with what I saw. Several entities can be seen morphing out of the walls and ceiling of the staircase. At one point in the video, a figure is clearly seen walking, zooming, floating up, turning the corner, and going up and down the stairs several times. It has defined legs, torso, and shoulders. The camera captured several minutes of the entity moving around. This video is 90 seconds of the entity manifesting, changing shape, morphing into a human shape, and zooming up and down the stairs on both sides of the wall. When I saw the video footage, I felt so validated. I knew there was something running around on the stairs all those times. I heard it from my bedroom. Maybe this is the spirit that moved the chairs upstairs. I don't know if it's Uncle Harry, but it's proof.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
What?
It's very spooky.
All right. All 90 seconds of it. Let's go.
Okay, here are the stairs.
Okay, to the right.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of see like this weird orb.
Little white
You see
orby
that?
thing. Okay, the
They're
orb's
just like
back.
upstairs, kind of.
Yeah. Weird.
It's like this, like long, tall body.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a minute, more comes.
Oh, it like flashed. Okay.
Yeah, like out of nowhere. No one's in this house. Like it's locked
No.
up. No one's in here.
See, in these are the types of videos with like orbs and stuff that are very
More convincing.
yeah.
See, and you'd think like maybe it's something rotating around, but it like
It's
it moved
showing up
back a little bit, you know?
randomly. Oh. Whoa.
Like what even could that be?
Oh,
you
I
see
I
it?
saw like the body. Oh. It's kind of fast. I don't like that it was fast. Okay.
See, look at that.
Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay.
And like it went upstairs. It looked like.
Okay.
So it's not like something rotating around or anything, you know?
It's like walking around. Oh. Oh, that just gave me a chill. With the orbs at first, I was like, all right, like, cool.
Interesting.
It turned into a full body.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, I didn't like that one.
That was weird.
I didn't like that one at all.
I hope it's Uncle Harry.
That was creepy.
Just hanging out. Couple that
The way
with
it moved.
the chairs somehow ending up on the second floor.
I don't like the way it moved. I was cool with like the orbs. I was like, oh, that's interesting. When it like extended into like a body.
Yeah, it did look like a body.
And it like ran. Oh. Oh. I don't like it.
Do you think it was the same thing moving the chairs?
I mean,
And
sure.
walking around upstairs?
I guess. Yeah, it just likes to run around. Oh.
Creepy. Okay, well, this next one's even spookier.
Oh no. Okay.
Another awesome encounter I have is at a cemetery on the island. This cemetery isn't one of the oldest, but there are headstones from the late 1800s and lots of veteran graves. Many of my family members are buried here, including my dad's parents, whom I was very close to. I no longer live on the island, so I make it a point to visit them every time I'm home. I will bring peanut butter and Fluff Ritz cracker sandwiches, my Gramps' favorite snack, to their headstones and hang out, telling them about my life and such. I was taught to be utterly respectful in graveyards, to keep a somber voice and volume, to watch my step as to not walk across graves, and to act as a visitor. It didn't feel appropriate taking pictures normally, but I hadn't seen both my Nana and Gramps' headstones side by side. Nana had passed several years before Gramps, and they refused to be laid to rest separately. And I wanted to take a picture of them finally at rest together after 75 years of marriage. I quickly snapped a couple pictures, locked my phone, and put it in my back pocket. I finished my visit and left. It wasn't until later, when I was looking at the pictures, that I found something very strange. The camera roll had the pictures of my Nana and Gramps' headstones as normal. Then I noticed a picture I hadn't taken. My phone somehow had changed to grid mode, a mode I'd never used and still to this day can't figure out how to turn on. In the picture was a black figure. I've zoomed in and cropped the image. You can clearly see a black figure crouching next to a grave with its hand extended towards the headstone. It looks like a woman wearing Victorian mourning clothes from the 19th century. I've attached a side-by-side image of what was captured on my phone with an image of 19th century mourning clothes. I was shocked, and I definitely think I captured a woman visiting her lost loved one.
Oh.
I posted the picture on my Facebook page, and a member of my community commented and said that she had seen the exact same figure on the road by her house, about a half mile from the cemetery. Another friend said I had captured an image of the Black Mara, a local island fable. I feel privileged to have whatever it was visit me and leave proof of its existence. They have one more story, but I'll go ahead and show you the picture before I move
Yes,
on.
please do. Please do. I am interested.
Okay, so here is the full image.
Okay,
Right?
grid
Just
mode.
How do you do that? I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh.
Look, that does look like a hand reaching for the grave, wearing black.
Yes, it does. I see the hand.
And no one was there.
Oh.
When they were there, no one was there.
Good Lord. Oh, and
next
next
to morning clothes.
Doesn't it?
Doesn't
Yeah.
it kind of look like someone's like crouched over there?
Very
creepy.
convincing. I'm not going to lie. It does look like the hand is extended because there's that little like
the blur
whiteness sticking out. Oh, wow.
Very creepy.
Oh, that would make me sick. That would make me so sick. Even if, okay, yeah, hopefully she's, you know, some kind of just normal lady, whatever. I still don't like it. I still don't like it at all.
Too many scary movies I've seen.
Yeah.
My last story for this email happened in Kansas City, where I live now. We were pet sitting our friend's dog Archie at the time. This dog is the most chill dog ever. He never barks or growls and is basically just a fluffy pillow. He was laying on my bed while I showered. It was almost dusk, but it was still light out. From my bedroom, you can see our backyard and fence line, which cuts off my yard from the neighborhood park and wooded area. As I got out of the shower, Archie lifted his head, stared out the windows towards the park/woods, and started to growl. A low, deep growl. His hackles stood up on his back, and his growl continued as I traced his line of sight out the window. There, on the fence line, hovering about 5 or 6 feet in the air, was a bright, purple, blue, silvery ball of energy. It was a cylindrical ball, about 6 inches in diameter and swirling around, contained within itself. It looked like Glinda's bubble in The Wizard of Oz, and the inside was like the 90s squishy tube toys that have shimmery liquid inside. I hope you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The orb, or what I think was a fairy, bounced slowly in the air several times and faded away. It was visible long enough for me to ask myself if I was really seeing this or not. But after it faded, I looked at Archie, whose eyes were huge, and he looked at me as if to say, yeah, I saw that too. Even though Archie is a dog, our eye contact was direct communication, and I know he saw it. I have other stories that I have experienced on my own, hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadows, and lots of other strange experiences, but none with actual proof like these ones. I can send them along if you'd like. Sorry this is so long, but I hope I freaked you out thoroughly.
You did.
You did, definitely. I'd love to hear my stories on the pod and get your feedback. I love you guys, and I love the positive attention you're bringing to the paranormal world. Congrats on all the success, and you've gained a dedicated listener for life. Stay spooky, Natalie.
Oh, thank you, named twin. That's really sweet.
I wish you would have gotten a picture of this
the fairy thing.
Tube fairy.
I thought you were about to tell me that we had one, and I'm so excited.
No picture.
But either way,
Archie saw it. That's proof enough.
I'm good on the evidence from this person. I'm good. I'm good.
Spooky.
I'm thoroughly spooked. Yes.
There's still more. Just prepare yourself.
Oh no.
There's more.
Okay.
But these were good.
I'm feeling scared. I don't like I say oh, I want to see it. I don't want to see it.
It's the picture taken accidentally. Like it was meant to be taken almost, you know?
Yes.
Like they just put their phone in their back pocket. It just happened. What is that?
Did she want to be seen?
Yeah, that too.
Or did her energy just draw from the iPhone? It's like making it glitch out?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know. All these ghosts are demogorgons. Bro, I can't wait for Stranger Things, like the second part.
I still haven't caught. I'm not in the new season yet, so do not ruin anything.
Oh,
for
I'm
me.
not. But I am very excited.
I'm still
about
working
this.
my way through. Our next story comes from Caroline. Hi, Ghosties. My name is Caroline, and I love y'all's podcast so much. I love to listen in while I'm drawing at night, and it's honestly a nightly routine for me. I have always been extremely interested in the paranormal for as long as I can remember. I apologize in advance for the long email because I figured I'd share all of my experiences I've had. I moved into my home when I was 10 years old, around 2017. While the house itself was built in 1975 and has only been owned by one family, I couldn't help but feel strangely unwelcome when we first moved in. The one room in this entire house that I am honestly still very scared of is my dad's office on the first floor. Around our first month here, I remember me and my dad were talking in the hallway leading to his office when we started to smell an extremely foul odor, like rotting fish. But what was worse to me was that it seemed to be much stronger around the entrance of his office. We began to look all around the room, hoping to figure out where the source was. But after checking every crevice and corner and finding nothing, my dad decided an animal must have crawled into the vent and died. Adamant to find the source, as we don't want something decaying in our house, we took apart the vent and began to search around. The weird part about it, however, was the smell did not seem to be strong around the vent, and nothing was found in it. After that day, we never smelled it again.
What?
That sounds demonic.
I was about to say, what? Because, like, sulfur is,
well,
the demon smell.
I've heard stories of, like, rotting meat and, like, other just rot. Just gross, nasty smells. And they usually, like, appear out of nowhere, have no discernible source, and then will disappear almost as quickly as they appear.
That's horrifying.
That's really scary. Not to say you have a demon in your house, Caroline, just...
Fingers crossed, at least.
My second experience in this house was definitely the most terrifying experience I have ever had. I know it doesn't sound too scary, but to me as a child, I was scared straight. I was about 11, and for reference, I have a smaller room with 2 windows looking out onto my roof, with a laundry basket sitting in front of the far left one. It was nighttime, and I am someone who hates having my blinds open at night, as it makes me feel vulnerable. However, this night, for some reason, I kept the blinds of one of my windows open. I was sifting through my laundry, likely looking for a piece of clothing, when something in my window caught my eye. I still get uneasy talking about this 7 years later. About a foot away from my window was a faceless head. Or at least that's the closest I could describe it. It had no human features. Besides the head shape, its face was a light peachy color, and it had no recognizable features like a neck or shoulders or even a body. All I could see was what looked like a floating head almost. I stared at it for what felt like ages, even though it had to have been just a few seconds. But God, this part still sends chills down my spine. I was absolutely frozen in fear and couldn't avert my eyes from this thing. As I was looking directly at it, it slowly slinked to the side of my window until it was out of view, almost as if acknowledging I had seen it. Once it was out of view, I snapped out of it and absolutely booked it down the stairs. It was all in a blur of how I managed to get downstairs, but I was going so fast it felt like I didn't even touch a single step. Before I knew it, I was in my dad's office bawling my eyes out, trying to tell him what happened. Once I was finally able to explain what I had just seen, my dad, understandably, laughed, thinking I was playing a prank on him. Despite me being 11, I was far past the age of being scared of ghosts, and was even obsessed with them at the time. But I truly have never felt more fear in my entire life than the terror I felt that night. My dad chalked it up to being some kind of animal, like a barn owl, but I know what I saw, and it was unlike any animal I have ever heard of. Safe to say, I didn't open those blinds again for almost a year, no matter what time of day it was.
Board it up. Board up the window.
Anything on a second story window is just a big no-go for me.
I've been traumatized about that since, and this was probably 2 years ago at this point.
It was.
When you told me this story of the thing like peeking in the second story window from the top. Yeah. I can see that in my mind's eye, like it happened to me.
I gotta find that. It might have been in our first Halloween episode, like just scary stories for Halloween.
It was just horrible. Just horrible.
It's very spooky. The third experience I had in my home wasn't actually my own, but my little brother's. When we first lived here, my little brother was convinced there was a man in his vent. He said it kept him up at night, and he was terrified of it. I never really knew if it was a feeling or if he actually saw him, but needless to say, that was terrifying for the poor little dude. For some context, the women in my family are extremely spiritual and are often sensitive to the paranormal. However, I would say my grandma is definitely the most connected to the spiritual world out of our living family. My mom called her about a week of my little brother insisting there was a man in his vent to check it out and see if she felt something. The very moment my grandmother stepped into his room, she said there was a negative spirit in there and suggested we buy sage to cleanse the house ASAP. Honestly, it was terrifying how certain and serious she was, as she is a very lighthearted person and normally loves to fool around and laugh. But the look on her face was more serious than I had ever seen. My last paranormal experience is definitely shorter than the others, but the only one I have solid proof of. It was my 16th birthday, and my family had taken me to Charleston, South Carolina because they knew I loved the paranormal things and wanted to make it a birthday to remember. We spent the weekend going on ghost tours, going to cemeteries, eating lunch at supposed haunted restaurants, and we found nothing. Honestly, it was such an amazing vacation, and I was so happy I got to spend some quality time with my parents. but I was a little disappointed we hadn't experienced anything yet. It was our last day there, and my parents wanted to get one last location in. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but I will update this if I find it. I remember it was very large and pink with a black roof. Anyways, this hotel had been known for being a paranormal place, and we wanted to get coffee at the cafe and explore one last spot before leaving that afternoon. After getting our coffee, we set out exploring. Next to the cafe around the corner was the ballroom, and at the end of the hallway leading to the ballroom was a huge mirror. Me being me, I was snapping countless pictures of the place, hoping to capture something. It wasn't until we had left the hotel and were driving home that I reviewed the photos, and when I did, my stomach dropped. Standing behind me in one of the mirror selfies was a black mass, but not just any mass. In this photo, it looked like the shadow of a man was standing directly behind me. I could tell it wasn't an actual shadow, however, because it was way too black and it had a clear outline of a head, shoulders, and an arm. My dad was with me exploring. However, he was not in the hallway at the time and was wearing a bright pink/orange shirt. I'm going to attach the photo of the shadow and then one of my dad walking in the room, and there is a clear difference in him and the shadow. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this. As I know it's insanely long, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your days and keep up the amazing work, girls. Caroline.
Thank you. Show me the picture.
I'm getting to it. All right, let me show you the one with dad first. Okay.
Okay.
So here it is. You can see dad walking up behind.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like an orange
There's
pink
another
color.
There's another guy.
Yeah, you can see it's like a distinct person, but the color is like orangish, pinkish colored, right? There's the shadow.
I didn't expect it to be so creepy.
It's like much bigger than her. You can see it all the way around her. There's like the head is like almost a head taller than Caroline.
I don't like that there's a hand.
Yeah.
The hand is what gets me.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
And there was no one in there with her.
That is horrifying.
No one.
I would die.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to look at it anymore. Get that off the screen.
You know what? It's better that it was on your drive home and not while you were there. Like, it's bad enough to know, like, I was in the vicinity. It was there. Something was there with me.
Right next to you.
But, like, you're far enough removed that it's, like, almost a little easier to comprehend, you know?
It's sick. Oh, wow.
Looking
That's
at that
horrifying.
picture again makes me,
I can't.
like, chilled. Have fun editing this.
Yeah, I know. I'm scared.
I might have to edit this one.
Oh my gosh. Honest, I'm genuinely like really spooked right now.
All right. Well, we have, I think, 2 more stories.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you for sending that in, Caroline. That's horrifying. Also, your house is very scary.
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to think about that.
Snap some pictures around your house.
I just had a scary thought.
What? Say it.
What if the thing that's in their house was at the hotel?
Followed them to South Carolina?
Mm-hmm. It's just attached to the
Caroline?
family.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, totally kidding. That's not true.
Not. No.
That's not true.
No.
Oh, it can't be.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Okay.
Our next story comes from 6. Hi, girls. My name is 6. I've been listening to your pod for a while now, and I thought I'd write in just in time for Halloween. Since the moment I was born, I've always had something attached to me. I've always seen stuff and experienced a lot. A gift I never asked for. My mom would always say that from the moment I was born, she started experiencing stuff when she had never had any experiences with the paranormal before. When I was around 11 years old, my mom went to a witch of some sorts, and she came to tell me about her experience. Now, me being young, I didn't believe her because, to me, a witch was some old lady riding around on a broom, so she took me to her to prove it to me. My grandma had passed the year before, and I was still in a lot of pain since we were super close, and that's when the lady told me that my grandma was there with us, saying that everything was going to be okay. It did make me feel better, but I was still a little bit sus about her. My mom had gone, so I just thought that she had mentioned something about her, but that's when she started telling me stuff that was only between me and my grandma. While she was talking about my grandma, she suddenly stopped and looked straight at me, eyes wide open, and said, "Your grandma isn't the only one that is with you. I can see and feel something dark, an evil that wants to do harm."
I would die on the spot. Cardiac arrest.
It attached to you when you were born. It means no harm to you or your loved ones, but towards other people or ones that do wrong by you. I just sat there in shock and confused, thinking, cool, I have a friendly demon with me protecting me. So I named him Temtem. I don't know why, it's just the name that came to me, and it just felt right. Now that I kind of laid out some backstory, let's get on to some of the scariest things that I have gone through.
I should have let you finish.
Because now you're like, maybe?
The revenge demon.
I knew you'd like that. I did.
I'm into it, actually. Just kidding. I don't want
all
any
darkness,
bad stuff around me.
No darkness, no negative spirits, love and light only in this home, in
but
this
it
family.
Is funny. But it is funny. I will give you that.
It is a little. Tim Tim. I like the name Tim Tim also, by the way. First story. This story isn't really about me, but more of my older sister. Still pretty spooky. Yami, my older sister, and I are 5 years apart and always have been pretty close. This happened when I was around 8 years old, so she would have been 13 if my math is correct. We were running around my grandma's house playing tag. She has this super long hallway that basically you need to take to get anywhere in the house. The first part of the house is one room, the kitchen, dining, and living room. The other part of the house is the restrooms and bedrooms. The house is connected by that one long hallway. We were coming from the part of the house that has the bedrooms, now at the end of the hall. It's that one room. If you go left is the front door. If you go right, it's the kitchen. Yami was it, so I was running from her, and I tried pretending that I was going to go into the room, and last second cut to the right to go into the kitchen. When I made the cut, I just saw darkness. I thought it was someone coming out of the kitchen, so I leaned forward and put my hands up to get ready to make impact with whoever was there, but I just slammed straight into the ground. While I was on the floor, I looked back at my sister, and she was white as a ghost, eyes glossy. I was like, what happened? And she didn't say anything. Then she just burst into tears. My mom comes running out and was like, what did you do to her? And I was just confused, and I told her I didn't do anything. I was still laying on the ground. Later on, during the day, when Yami calmed down, she told us that when I turned the corner, I had gone through a tall man, all black, with no face and a hat. The man had turned to her, and even though the man had no face or eyes, she felt like he was still looking straight at her. Then he just put his hand on his hat, tipped it, and disappeared into thin air.
Oh no. That's creepy.
It's spooky. They both saw it too.
Mm-hmm.
They both saw it. Story 2. Fast forward a couple years later, I was 14 and we were staying at my cousin's house. Let's call her Gabby. We had a brother now, but he never wanted to go to Gabby's house. He would say that he didn't like going because the little girl was mean to him. Gabby is older than all of us and didn't have sisters at the time. My sister Gabby and I are extremely close since we are the oldest in the family, so we would stay over at her house a lot, to the point where my uncle turned the guest room to Yami's and my room, even getting us bunk beds. Now, as exciting as that was, since my parents never got us bunk beds, it turned dark real quick and completely ruined it for us. Yami had the top bunk since she won the argument because she was older. I woke up in the middle of the night. Now, I always sleep facing the wall because I don't want to wake up looking at the open room and seeing something. But that night, something in my body was telling me to turn around. When I turned around, there was nothing. On the other side of the room, my uncle put a nightlight, but the light was not that bright. I was just staring at it, playing with it, kind of like when you're in a dark room and the longer you stare at lights, it gets surrounded in the darkness. Then you blink and it goes back to normal. I was just doing that, hoping I would fall asleep soon. When I was staring at the light, hair drops down from the top bunk and it fell directly in front of the light. I thought it was Yami peeking at me, seeing if I was awake. I was still staring at the light through the hair, just watching the hair swing from side to side.
No.
After a while, I thought to myself, this is kind of creepy. She hasn't said anything. She's just staring at me. I call out to Yami saying, can you please stop being weird? You're creeping me out. But still the hair was swinging side to side. Again, Yami, cut it out. Silence. I reached for the light switch that was right above my head, and as soon as I flicked it on, the hair disappeared. I was in shock, and after a while of just sitting there thinking what that could have been, I checked the top bunk and the bed was completely empty. I got the courage to get up and run to Gabby's room, and I laid in her bed. Gabby said, "What, you too?" I didn't care and just laid there, eventually falling asleep. The next morning, I went to get breakfast, and when I walked in, my uncle laughs and says, "Why did I get you guys bunk beds if you're just going to sleep with Gabs?" I told him what I saw. He just stood there and says, Yami went to sleep with Gabs because she said she saw a little girl messing around with the nightlight."
Oh. What are we talking about?
The little girl was mean to their brother.
Or
bothers them.
Oh, my body's been numb this whole time.
The hair, just leaning upside down, staring at them, sleeping in bed.
Yeah, no. That's too
I'm
much.
like lightheaded.
Too much. And you know what? I was just thinking the other day because I've been looking at furniture and stuff. I'm like, you need to get your kids bunk beds. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Because I was like, oh, like, your daughter would love to be, like, on the top bunk. They would have so much fun.
Not after this.
Don't do it.
Not after this.
This is horrifying. That's, like, one of the scariest ones, and there's no proof. There's no evidence. There's
no
not a photo
evidence.
of that.
But there is for this next one.
Oh, no. I don't want a photo of that first one, though, by the way.
Oh, no.
I would have never.
No,
I wouldn't accept that.
Just, no. Delete.
Mm-hmm.
Story 3. In the city where I live, there is an abandoned orphanage. I had gone there before with some friends, but didn't experience anything, and it's supposed to be super haunted. I looked into it, and there were quite a few children that were mistreated and lost their lives there because of how badly they were treated. I was telling my mom that I really wanted something to happen there, so she suggested I go by myself. Now, any normal person would be like, absolutely not, but I am not normal. Also, I've seen and experienced a lot and have kind of become desensitized to a lot of it. I still get scared, but after 30 seconds, I'm like, oh well, add it to the list and forget about it. I waited till after midnight to go. I grabbed my flashlight and gun because the house is in the middle of the desert and a lot of people go there at night, and I am more afraid of a living animal and people than ghosts.
Correct.
When I arrived to the house, I first looked around to make sure that there were no other people there. Once I was certain it was clear, I walked in and instantly, it felt cold. It was pretty windy outside, but the moment I walked in, it was like I walked into another dimension. The house instantly became quiet and felt like the wind had just stopped. I walked around, phone in hand, taking pictures and using the flash to light up and lead the way. Nothing interesting happened, no noise, no nothing, just silence. I headed into one room upstairs where it is said that it belonged to this little boy named Danny. It is the one room in the house where it is not dirty or destroyed, and people bring stuff, and it is set up like a little boy's room. I sat in the bed for around 5 minutes, waiting to see if anything would happen or if I could hear anything, but again, nothing. I got up and headed to the corner where they had this one mirror. I ducked down and began taking pictures in the mirror, and after a couple of pictures, I got my stuff, and I left. While I was walking out of the house, I thought I heard this faint voice of a little boy saying, "Please." Now, I don't know if I actually heard it or if it was just my mind wanting to hear something, but once I got home, I completely forgot about the picture until the next morning when my mom wanted to see. Nothing was in any of the pictures, just a creepy abandoned house. Only one picture had something standing behind me, and that picture was in the mirror. Out of the 5 pictures I took, you could only see it in one. I've attached 2 pictures, one with no circle and one outlining the figure standing behind me. You can clearly see a person standing behind me. You can kind of see its face, but it's transparent. The whole body is see-through. You can see the wall behind it. It doesn't look like a kid, but I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Okay, I'm scared.
Okay, here is without the outline. Do you see anything?
It's behind them?
You see that right there?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, I'll go to the outline and you can clearly see it.
Oh God, I'm scared.
You see it's like a face right there?
Oh,
look.
That just scared me. I don't know what noise just came out of me. I like growled and screeched.
Yeah, but look at that without the outline. That you can clearly see there's somebody there. It doesn't look like a kid unless it's
looks like a grown man.
Like a teenage, like
a 17-year-old, 18-year-old. That looks like a man. Oh my gosh.
And only in one of the 5 pictures they took just there, like probably like a repetitive, like one after another,
reposing and taking a picture. This is
chilling.
Yeah. I did not like the face. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it at first.
I saw it immediately. I knew exactly what you were talking about. But
once you outlined it and then went back to that first picture, yeah, I could see it easily. Oh my
sick,
goodness.
Right?
It is sick. It is sick.
Okay, last story. This is my last and scariest story. It's also my most recent experience. This happened to me around 2 weeks ago, and I still think about it a lot because what I saw, I don't think it was human. And I feel like it's just always around now. So I have a computer in my room. It's a gaming PC, so it has RGB lighting. It's bright, but not too bright to bother me when I sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, not sure what time, and I felt like something was in the room with me, staring right at me. I didn't want to check at first, but I did, and I regret that I did. When I opened my eyes, I was looking at my wall. But when I rolled over to look forward, I came face to face with it. I just laid there frozen with fear. At the foot of my bed, there was a woman, pale white. Her skin was so white it looked like it was emitting or reflecting light. Big eyes sunken into her eye sockets with black covering most of the eye and a very slight outline of white. a sinister grin, going from ear to ear, head almost bald with just some patches of hair in her head, a couple of strands falling in front of her face, the very little bit of hair pitch black, wet, or greasy looking. There she was, just there at the end of my bed with her elbows resting on my bed. I felt the weight of her by my feet, sinking the bed, her chin resting on the palm of her hands, with each hand on each side of her cheeks.
I just gagged. I'm sorry.
The fingers were long with big nails almost touching the top of her head, and she was just there, smiling at me, tapping each finger one by one, moving her head from side to side. Felt like she was just taunting me. My body was frozen in fear. No matter how much I wanted to kick her, I just couldn't move. It wasn't like sleep paralysis. I've had that before, and this was a different feeling because I was awake, fully awake. After what felt like 5 minutes of just staring at each other, she was still there, just tapping her fingers one by one on her cheeks. I felt like she was waiting to see what I would do. Then she just stopped tapping and moving her head stuck, tilted to the right. She reached out her hand, palm up, fingers out. Then she began bringing each finger back, starting with the pinky, again, just one by one, until she had just her index finger pointing at me. Snapping her wrist back, she pointed at the ceiling and stared, making the come here movement with her finger. She then stopped again, her movement like a stop action movie. She then began to start slowly ducking down behind my bed until I couldn't see her anymore. I don't know what happened next because I woke up in the morning. I ran to my sister to tell her about it, but she suggested it could have been a dream or sleep paralysis. But when we went to my bed to recreate the scenario, what I saw sent shivers throughout my entire body. We found a couple of strands of black hair on the floor in bed. That's when she believed me because no one in our house has black hair. Not my sister, she's brunette, and not my girlfriend, she's blonde. Thank you for reading my stories. Hopefully you girls enjoyed them again. Sorry for the long email. I have many, many more stories to share, from dreams to aliens to ghosts, or even how Tim has done some stuff to people that did me wrong. Let me know if you would like to hear them. I'd be happy to write in again. Also, you guys should look into the Kimberly story and talk about it on the pod. I feel like you girls and the listeners would enjoy it. I've linked it down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a good Halloween 6. I'll watch that video later, the Kimberly story. I don't know what that is, but maybe we can talk about that.
I am disgusted.
The hair.
Finding
the hair.
What is she? Why is it physically manifested?
Why did it want
I'd be scared for my life.
To follow it?
That is disgusting. I'm scared. I'm actually horrified. The visual of all of that.
Sickening.
That was disgusting.
Horrifying. Okay, our last story is from Ashley. Hey girls, love the pod. It's cozy and spooky, which are two things any 30-something-year-old loves. Anywho, like the title says, I have a story and I have proof of it. It's so scary, it still shakes me to my core and goosebumps that I've been praying every night for protection. This all happened over the course of a weekend, and not sure if they all relate, but it's still freaky. So back in September, I took a small gummy to help me stay asleep through the night. However, during my time on it, I swear I heard a voice saying something like, "You're almost mine," or "You'll be mine soon," which freaked me out. I tried to calm myself down and go to sleep, but lately, I've been seeing things through my mind's eye as if it were actually happening. And in that moment, I saw through my mind's eye a black creature in the shape of a man crawling up on my bed. His eyes were black and face pale, and his teeth looked like a piranha's. If you've ever seen 40 Days of Night, the main vampire guy is the closest thing to what I saw, but with clothes. This gave me a panic attack and anxiety that lasted for days. I hate that. I feel like we get a lot of stories of people, like, they don't see it, but they see it through something else.
Mm-hmm. And that's like almost scarier, I think.
I don't know. The next day, I was still on edge, but tried to get over it by saying my mind was playing tricks on me. I was planning on going to a friend's party that night and wanted to focus on that. This part is still crazy to me. When I left for the party, going down the stairs to my apartment, I take a turn and a voice right in my ear whispers a word. I'm not sure what it said exactly, but in a rapt whisper tone, it sounded like a variation of "for," "more," or whatever with "or" in it. I literally jumped out of my skin. It scared me so bad because there was no one there. And if they were they would have had to be standing an inch away from me to whisper in my ear so loudly. I was on edge the entire ride to my friend's house, and I kept thinking, what if it was that creature thing I saw the day before? Now, here's where the proof comes in.
Oh no.
A couple days passed, and my friend told me about our mutual psychic was doing a special deal for close friends and family. I hadn't talked to her in over a year and a half, so I wanted to see what she'd say. Before anyone judges me for talking to a psychic, I do have to say she is legit and has predicted so many things about me without seeing me in person. I've only done phone calls with her because I always live in a different state from her. During these calls, I like to record the conversation because my memory isn't always great, and I like to go back and hear what she says. She tells me that there is someone there who died near me and kept asking if I knew him, but had no idea who she was talking about. She said it was a man who died in a car crash and knew someone I knew. I know, vague, but she wouldn't let go of it, even when telling her I didn't know them. We eventually ended the conversation.
Weird.
When I watched over the footage, that's when I heard it. In the middle of this conversation, I caught the whispering voice on camera. You can also see when I'm listening to what she is saying, and it gets dark and the whisper comes in loud. It didn't get dark at all when I was talking to her, and I didn't hear anything except for her in real time. I never thought I would ever catch something like this, and ever since I've shown it to anyone who will listen, and their reactions are all the same as mine. Freaked out and curious to what it says. It's not very clear and still haunts me. I hope you like my story, and if you have any clue what it says in the video, I'd love your input. Anyways, thank you for listening to my story. I hope it was spooky enough for the pod. Ashley.
All right, thousands of people, everybody, turn your headphones up. Let's listen.
Yes, volume up. Let us know what you think this is saying, because I could not figure it out.
I will not shriek.
And going, no, not yet, and putting it away. And it's like, no, I want it out. I need it out. I need to move on. I need to progress. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, now that you have had some kind of consistency, you're like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to move forward.
And
it's
for
time.
the video
It's
to get dark
leveling
like
up.
that immediately
And
after.
they're
Let's
not
play it
ready
again.
for that. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, now that you have had some kind of.
One more time.
Now that you have had that, like, now that you have had some kind of consistency, you're like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. It's time. It's leveling up.
Okay. It's really weird because it sounds like a breathy word, but you can see in the video they are not breathing. They breathe after that word.
Exactly.
They take a big breath, but you don't even hear the big breath.
No, exactly. That's what I was
Oh.
thinking too. I was showing Jake these, and I was like, how do you debug this? Like, how, please tell me, because this is so spooky. And like, I'm watching
And I'm
watching
in.
Ashley's breathing.
They're locked in. They're looking at the thing. They're just taking it all in. It's not like they had a reaction like, oh, there was something happening.
And then the lighting changes immediately after the voice. I'm going to listen one more time because I really need to know what, like, try to listen to see if you can hear what the word says.
Being completely silent.
I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, now that you have had some kind of.
I don't know,
It's
but
like
I heard
two little whispers. It's
I heard the first part time more clearly.
Do that. Like, now that you have had some kind of.
yeah, it's like two. It's like,
Oh, I don't want to edit this. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm gonna have to hear that really loud and make sure it sounds good on the video. So if it sounds bad,
just know Natalie had her ears closed.
go to our Instagram, maybe if we can post it there, because I am sick.
Also, tell me what you think it says, because I can't figure out what it says. I listened to it so many times. I had to turn it off one night because
I don't
was
want to
getting
hear
really
it anymore.
freaked
I'm
out.
scared.
And then I went back during the day and listened to it. I can't. It's a whisper. It's like, it's saying two words.
Yes, I heard. I didn't hear the first word the first time you played it, but that second time I heard the ch.
It almost sounds like it's saying off a little bit.
Like get off.
Something off, maybe. But I don't know if I'm just being like influenced by the light kind of dimming and turning off.
I don't know.
At the same time, but I don't know. It just sounds so clear.
Oh, that's sick. Tell us what you
there's
think.
Clearly something there talking into the microphone.
I'm ready to see the comments on this video today. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for everybody to watch this. It's what, Monday when we're filming this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to wait like 3 or 4 days for everyone to see this.
I know. I need everyone to tell me.
I get so excited. That's something so weird because this podcast started out with just me and you being like, oh my gosh, ha 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 ha. And now I look forward to hearing
What
seeing what
people
everybody
think.
else has to say.
No, definitely me too.
I get really excited to share, like, especially the creepy things like this.
Yes.
I'm ready for everybody to see it.
I'm definitely excited for this one because there's so much like proof and evidence. So with that being said, please in the comments, let us know if you can debunk any of these. If you
Please.
if you have any idea.
For my sanity, please debunk them all.
Yes. We want to know what y'all think. I know that there are some people in the audience that have like sensitivities and like can get feelings and stuff. So if you get that too, I'd like to know what you think about like some of these images and videos. Because I'm intrigued.
Very.
To say the least.
Oh my gosh.
These were really scary. So sorry we had to take a little break from our wholesome December.
No, I like it.
Horror.
I've missed the scare.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So like I said, leave in the comments what you think. Like this video if you liked it. Share it with your friends if you feel compelled to do so. Please share. That would be so nice. And subscribe for more. We've got more holiday haunts coming next week. I'm very excited about both of the episodes next week.
I don't know what they are, but I'm ready.
Yeah, they're really good. You can follow us on Instagram, as Natalie said. We'll probably post some of these pictures, videos, everything that
we can get on there. Yes.
Yes, to our Instagram. It's at Ghosties Pod, and you can join our Patreon and be a part of the crowd who picks topics like these.
Love Patreon.
Yeah, it's really fun over there. Patreon.com/ghosties. We'd love to see you there.
We would. And if you've made it this far, leave the little like screaming face emoji, like like the really scared emoji, because that's how I felt this whole time. Also, while you were talking earlier, I found it very ironic and weird that you're telling us the most scary, horrifying things you could ever hear, and I'm wearing a pink penguin holiday blanket and a bluebell shirt. A green bluebell shirt. I'm just like the complete opposite of what we're doing right now.
I think that's just the vibes of Ghosties. Like, that's just who we are.
Kind of, I guess. I guess that's a good example. I'm wearing my bluebell ice cream shirt and my penguin blanket.
I love it, actually.
It is who I am.
It is, truly. So we appreciate all of you for sticking around this long, and we hope to see you back on Monday.
Goodbye.